Good afternoon.
Check out this front room. Younger David working on the Mini. All the cars that he's owned. He's only 14. You have seen my videos before, haven't you?
Yeah. It's only a car.
All right, in the back. Looks mint. A drift car. Marcus Hayes stickers stuck to the rear windscreen. You need to throw these hubcaps away. Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes, and today me and my beautiful girlfriend Kat are going to be jumping in Maud, my Mordor Mark II Escort, to take a trip back down to see Danny and David Coogan to get a closer look at their super cool fleet of old school Fords.
Right, so as I've mentioned before, Danny Coogan and his son David, who is just 14 years old, like to buy and sell cars. And I think it's really cool how Danny has instilled in his children, because David isn't his only son, the idea of making their own money at a young age. It's a great way of keeping the children out of trouble, because let's face it, there's so many unproductive and negative distractions for kids nowadays. And if they can learn to stand on their own 2 feet, it means they're going to be set up for life. One thing that I really admire about the way that the Coogans go about buying and selling cars is that they always like to put the cars with the correct owner, rather than just trying to get the maximum amount of profit. As well as teaching his kids how to earn their own money, Danny has also made sure that they've been brought up with good morals. And some of the money that the Coogans earn from buying and selling cars, they actually plough back into the community to help people out who are less fortunate than themselves in various different ways. And I'm going to be telling you all about that in this video as well.
Right, so we've made it to the Coogans and we've very kindly been invited in for a cup of tea. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Check out this front room, full of model cars, Hot Wheels everywhere. Pictures on the wall. That's what our front room's going to look like soon. We've just been chatting about David's car history. Bearing in mind he's only 14, he's actually written a list. Now, he did start off sort of messing about with pedal bikes, fixing them up and selling them, and then he moved on to motorbikes. And yeah, this is all the cars that he's owned. In fact, you did say that there's a couple that you just thought of that you didn't put on that list. Yeah. So yeah, he started off messing around with Minis and then sort of got into a bit of a Volkswagen phase. And yeah, nowadays he's more into the Fords, like his old man. Yeah. We've got some pictures laid out here of some of the cars he's owned. Like, here's a Mini 7. As you can see, it started off in a bit of a state. And here's a picture of it after it was painted. There's a picture of a younger David working on the Mini. This Mini here was actually David's first one. Was that a Mayfair, did you say?
Neon.
Oh, a Neon. Yeah, Mini Neon. Yeah, I've got a soft spot for classic Minis myself. Yeah, David's actually created a Mark II Escort on his GTA 5 game. They don't have a 4-door in the game, but yeah, it's as close looking to Maud as he could get. Right, so we've made our way to the garages and it's time to start having a look at their fleet. I'm going to start with what was David's Mark I Escort 4-door. It's an 1100L, and as you can see, it's in a bit of a state. Last time I came down here, the front end was in a garage and the rear end was here on the floor. Now, unfortunately, this car turned out to be way more rusty than David was hoping. It was basically on a crate when it was on the recovery truck, and when they took it off the crate, it literally just fell in half. David's not been too disheartened by it. He still does want to build a Mark I or Mark II Escort, so he will be getting another one, and he has managed to salvage quite a lot of parts off of this. Now, David has the full interior for this car and a roof, which are for sale. So if you're in the market for any bits like that, definitely get in touch with David. I'll leave a link to his Instagram in the description of this video. And David was saying to me that if he does end up picking up a left-hand drive Escort, then he's got a lot of the right-hand drive conversion parts off of this one that he can also use. So yeah, despite this car having MOT left on it, we obviously can't take this one for a spin around the block. So obviously with buying and selling cars, you know, you win some, you lose some, and this is a loss. But yeah, it's good to see that you're still sort of cracking on with the plan of building an Escort eventually. And you were saying that you might actually end up building one with a fiberglass shell.
Yeah, it's a race car.
Yeah.
Or Santa Put truck.
Yeah. No, that will be awesome. So yeah, it's a shame that this car didn't end up being good enough to put back on the road, but I'm sure David will let me know when he does pick up another one. So in the back of Danny's van, you can see the remains of the rear end. Obviously the guys have removed like the rear axle and stuff, and they've got that. There's the front seats, and as I say, David's got the full interior for sale. But yeah, all this will be going to scrap. It is a shame seeing a Mark 1 Escort in such a state, but it is quite cool actually, seeing one cut up into bits like that. I remember years ago, me and my mate cut up a Mark 1 Escort outside his house, and then sold all the bits. So. So next up, we're going to have a look at Danny's 1979 Mark 2 Escort. It's a 1600 gear, and we'll have a look in the engine bay in a minute. With it being a gear, it's got plenty of chrome on it, including these chrome bumpers with the black inserts. The grille has got these painted silver bits on it to tie in with the chrome around the rest of the car. The car does have some rust coming through, but it is a really solid original example. Got these chrome and black trims down the side of the car, and none of them are missing, which is nice to see. Chrome wing mirrors. Got all these chrome bits around the door windows and chrome door handles. Yeah, finished in metallic gold. Still looks really, really good for the age. Can't really see any evidence of much welding, so it obviously hasn't been messed around with that much. Danny has fitted these RS alloys, which look really cool on even a stock car like this. Let's have a look at the interior. The interior is brown, which is a nice contrast against the gold paintwork actually. You'll notice that this car isn't auto. It's got this nice wood on the dash. Gear badge over there. Really basic dashboard. This all looks really familiar. You know, Maud used to have a very similar steering wheel to this. This car's done 85,000 miles. Someone has fitted some speakers in these front door cards at some point. Yeah, these seats are certainly a lot more comfortable than the ridiculous bucket seats that I've fitted to Maud. Yeah, it's just a really nice place to be. Let's pop the bonnet. Oh, we've got adjustable wing mirrors. All the mod cons. Alright, into the very original looking engine bay. Obviously this car's powered by a 1600 Crossflow. Would have been around 85 horsepower, I suppose. Maybe it would have been held back a little bit by the automatic gearbox. Still got the sound deadening pad at the back of the engine bay. Yeah, really, really, really original. One thing I noticed when I came down here last is that there's no rust on these wing rails, even towards the back of the engine bay there. All really solid. This car was Z-barted from new, which might be why it survived so well, but yeah, it's obviously had a really easy life. Yeah, just really good to see one in such original condition. Just have a quick look in the boot. Still got the spare wheel strapped to the side. Shall we have a look under the carpet? Yeah, really solid. Yeah, nice to see this car gets used as a car still. You know, it's not a show car. You can put your luggage back in there now if you want, Danny.
Extra seat.
Yeah, it's actually a 6-seater, this car.
This is the seat for the people you don't like.
Yeah?
Yeah, they sit in the boot.
David's going to fire it up so we can hear it run. Yeah, it runs sweet. Runs sweet, doesn't it? Right, now this car is legal on the road, so Danny's going to take us for a quick spin. Seeing as she's got back seats, all 4 of us can go for a spin. It drives alright, man.
Drives lovely, yeah.
I mean, there's 4 of us in here and it's still moving
Yeah,
alright,
that's what I'm saying, like, it's good.
Yeah, I know David's got some plans for this in the future. Manual swap and more power.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell me about all the stuff that you do, you know, to help out other people. Because I think it's quite inspiring, you know.
Yeah, my ex-wife, she does helps out in old people's homes, which David does. Daniel and David both help out in the old people's homes.
Yeah.
So and I help them, like, you know, with any manual work that needs doing or running about to collect things and stuff like that. Daniel and David go to the old people's homes, obviously because of this crisis now.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to go, like they let people in the old people's homes.
Yeah.
Each year around Christmas time and that, we give out sleeping bags and stuff like that to homeless people.
Yeah.
We buy them food and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's amazing. Like you was telling me before that sometimes you just go into McDonald's and spend a couple of £100 and then
that's
just
it. Yeah.
go
And
and
walk
give
around
it.
the streets giving it to the homeless people. Like,
It's
and we
amazing.
sit down there and we talk to them and all. You know, like which they love.
Yeah.
Try and find out what happened in their lives that they ended up in that situation and stuff.
You go and give them McDonald's and spend 5 minutes talking to them, that could like make their day, make their month, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's really good. We're all only a couple of paychecks away from being homeless.
Exactly.
Like if
you know?
if you fall on really hard times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were showing me that you got that burger trailer thing.
Yeah.
That you've restored that yourself.
Yeah, we built that while we were on the lockdown.
Yeah.
So we can go down the city and we can give out food. So if people think, oh, I ain't going to give a homeless person money because they'll spend it on drink or drugs, they can come up, make a donation in the van, do you know what I mean, towards feeding people and all that lot. So we'd use the money towards the food in the van and stuff like that, but we'd also use the money for to buy clothing from second-hand shops and stuff like that, and like toiletries and stuff like that. And these are all things people need in life, you know. We'll do a website with it and all, and you can always see where the money's gone.
Yeah, so people can be reassured that their money's going to the right place.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a really, really good idea. Are you going to be doing that pretty soon?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing that soon, We would fund the van ourselves, so we've got no problem with that.
Yeah.
But any little helps, do you know what I mean, towards doing more.
Yeah.
You know, if we can do more, we'd rather do more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Loads of people have said, oh, I'd come and do a couple of hours.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I'll come and do a
mind getting
couple of
involved.
hours, you know what I mean?
I'm not very good at making sandwiches,
but even like sitting there talking to them, people appreciate that, you know, that people come and talk to them.
Well, once you're like up and running or you've got your website ready and all that, like definitely let me know and I'll put it out everywhere, do you know what I mean, on my social media and stuff, because I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's just another way of trying to help.
Yeah.
Like I say, it teaches the kids a good value in life and all, you know.
That's what I mean. Obviously, you're teaching your children like how to earn money at a young age, which is great. But then the potential bad side of that is that they become sort of materialistic and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, this is going to sort of
show them the other side of life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're helping other people out, but it's another way that you're going to set your kids up for life and make them into well-rounded people, you know.
I just try and teach them everything the right way and try and have a positive attitude on everything. Do you know what I mean? Because there's always somebody worse off than you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just because you've got, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't share with other people that haven't. Do you know what I mean?
All right, and I'm back.
Loads of fun.
Danny has very kindly let me get behind the wheel. You have seen my videos before, haven't you?
Yeah. It's only a car.
You tell me how hard you want me to drive it.
You drive it as hard as you want to drive it. Whatever bends, it can be bent back.
I've never driven an auto Mark II Escort before. It goes all right.
Yeah.
I like it. Do you want to sell it to me?
No.
Good answer.
This would be a good one for you, Kat.
No.
These back seats are like trampolines.
I was going to go and change the second then. Let's try the left round here.
Yeah.
Gearbox change is really good, man.
I mean, it's obviously well looked after. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't owned by Mr. Hayes, so it survived.
It drives really good.
Yeah. Is that a big puddle? Jesus Christ!
Don't want to go through no big puddles. If it was more, I would have gone through just to wash the underneath.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. With cars that we've had in the past, like I've always been worried about going to car shows. You know, when they're a bit far.
Yeah.
Because you think it's going to make it and stuff, you know. But in this one, I'm confident I'd go anywhere in this. Do you know what I mean?
All right, we've just stopped at one of the Coogans garages to have a quick look at some of David's bikes. And this one was your first restoration, yeah?
Yeah.
So you basically just kept this because it's your first one, yeah?
Yeah, just for like memories.
Yeah, nice, cool. Rally Grifter. And this one's a Rally Tomahawk. So what, you going to do this one up or?
Eventually.
Eventually. Yeah, so this thing is from the 70s and it's like a smaller version of the Chopper, which I have heard of. And we've got one of them over here. And this is one that you restored as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks mint.
Then he's got his Boxer down there, which is the smaller version of this.
Cool. This one's definitely my favourite. Some of you guys that are into motorbikes might recognise this name, Foggy, who is apparently a motorbike racer. And yeah, David and Danny have got a load of memorabilia of his, including this helmet out of an old Mark 1 Transit.
So I don't know whether the van was his originally, but all of his stuff was in there, all his proper gear.
All right, so back from the drive, absolutely love this thing. One thing I didn't mention earlier actually is that this was bought as a car to buy and sell, but you know, the right owner didn't come along and Danny ended up keeping it, and now it looks like it's gonna become David's car eventually. But yeah, what a cracking little car. Right, so now it's time to check out this 5-door Mark III Escort that Danny bought a couple of months ago. It's a 1600 GL model and it does look like it's in a bit of a state, but it's not that bad really. It was sitting for about 25 years unused by a previous owner before Danny came along and bought it. Danny was telling me that this car is really solid underneath and yeah, it runs and drives. There is, you know, bits of rust around it. Got a bit of surface rust on the bonnet. Got a bit of rust on this scuttle area here where the windscreen meets it. Yeah, on the tailgate there is a bit of rust here and also here, but obviously the tailgate is just a bolt-on item, so you could just replace that. Bit of surface rust on the roof, similar to what's going on with the bonnet. Yeah, as I say, it hasn't been messed with, you know. Doesn't look like there's loads of filler in the arches and stuff. It does look like a proper honest car. There's nothing hidden, just is what it is. Completely stock apart from the cloverleaf alloys that David actually managed to pick up for a really good price, or as a car to flip, and it was up for sale for quite a reasonable price, but you know, the right owner didn't come along. Just seemed like the only people that were interested in buying it were people that wanted to take advantage of the reasonable price and then sell it on to someone else at a really increased price. So Danny's now decided to keep hold of it and stick it in the garage while he focuses on working on David's car. If the right person does come along, the car is for sale, so you know, if you're in the market for a Mark III Escort, definitely get in touch and I'll pass your details on to Danny. Yeah, if you have a look inside, it's all there. You know, it does need a bit of a clean and stuff. The dashboard's all cracked. This is a car that definitely need a bit of work, but it could be a nice cheap entry into classic Ford ownership for someone. This car is a 5-speed manual. This all looks very familiar from what my dad's car looks like. Got a clock in the dash rather than a rev counter. Yeah, proper old school. Pop the bonnet. It's running a 1600 CVH lump manual gearbox, as I just mentioned. Now, one thing about these Mark IIIs, they all have rust where the battery tray is. This one was no different, and Danny's mate has roughly welded in a new battery tray panel. Obviously, it will need finishing off properly. Yeah, even my dad's Mark III Escort, which has only done 30,000 miles, needed a new battery tray, which I welded in for him. So yeah, hopefully it'll make a decent project for someone when the right buyer comes along. Right, so next up we've got David's latest purchase, this 1993 1800 LX Sierra Sapphire. It's got an 1800 CVH in the bay, which we'll have a look at in a minute. Now this thing is so mint for the age. I can't spot any rust on it. Danny's been underneath and he said it's all solid underneath as well. Got some pretty ugly steel wheels with some silly hubcaps on at the moment, but they will be changed. David's got some big plans for this car. Ignore this bumper hanging down here, although it does give us an opportunity to look behind there, and as you can see, there's not even any rust behind there. I mean, just look at these arches. There's just no rust on them at all. Yeah, no rust on the front arches. All really straight, you know, down the seals and stuff. No rust on this rear arch either. Really, really straight car. No, I love this thing. Must be really rare to find one in such good condition nowadays. Good to see that it's got a couple of Marcus Hayes stickers stuck to the rear windscreen. Now, I really like these rear lights as well, sort of smoked. Have a quick look in the boot. Plenty of room for about 3 dead bodies in there. Or one of Danny's Mark II Escort wheels. You need to throw these hubcaps away.
Make them into clocks.
Yeah, we'll have a look inside. Ah, this is a bit of a hint to David's plans for the car. Yeah, obviously a bit more luxurious than all the cars we've been looking at so far today, with this being a 93. Really, really comfortable. You can see the dashboard is sort of tilted towards the driver, you know, more driver focused. All the switches are in easy reach of the driver. In really, really good condition. As I mentioned, got an 1800 CVH in the bay. Hasn't got the airbox fitted at the moment, and the battery is also not fitted. This car does run and drive fine. It needs a starter motor, which actually has just been delivered to the Coogans place. Now, the plans for this Sierra might make the anoraks a bit angry, but I think they're really cool plans. David actually intends to turn this into a Cosy replica, and he is thinking about putting an ST170 engine in it as well. Now, he's already got the spoiler, and he's looking out for the bumpers and the wheels. And he has actually said to me that he wants to try a little bit of drifting. I'm sure some people will say that this car is far too good to become a drift car, but yeah, I can't wait to see this thing sideways at some point in the future. Right, so the sun's starting to go down, and it's time for me and Kat to get out of here. Now, this is just a very small amount of cars that are in the Coogans fleet, and with them constantly buying and selling cars, I'm sure we'll be back down to look at some other cars at some point in the future. In fact, we're going to be going to a car meet tomorrow, which you'll be able to see in the next video, and David and Danny are going to be coming along in the Mark II. So yeah, do let us know what you reckon of the Coogans cars in the comments. But other than that, I'm going to end this video here. If you did think it was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe if you're new and you want to keep up to date with all my future uploads, and check the links in the description to my social media and my website. I'll also leave my email address down there for anyone who wants to contact me. But other than that, until next time, from me, my beautiful cold girlfriend Kat, and Danny and David Coogan, thanks for watching.